For many years, Guy Penrod's admirers perceived him as a man who carried his music with integrity and grace while simultaneously keeping many aspects of his private life under wraps. Particularly when it came to his relationship with fellow singer Reggie Smith, fans frequently felt that there was more to the serene smile he displayed on stage. Guy never really discussed what that friendship meant to him, despite the fact that their closeness appeared strong, effortless, and natural. At 62, Guy finally chooses to break the quiet after decades of singing and experiencing life's highs and lows. He speaks with a calm honesty that only comes with age and wisdom, rather than with drama or excitement. He clarifies that sometimes the connections we cherish the most are the ones we keep tight, not because we want to conceal them. In this poignant moment, he shares the true tale of his lengthy friendship with Reggie, one that has been molded by years of walking side by side through the world of gospel music, trust, and support. For the first time, he lets his admirers know about a part of his life that they had only speculated about from a distance by opening the door to something he had kept secret for so long. In gospel music, Guy Penrod has long been regarded as a steady and serene voice, whose presence was consoling even before he spoke. Guy exuded modest assurance from his early days in tiny church gatherings to the years when he became well-known worldwide. He never sought attention or popularity. Instead, he let his music do the talking. Even if they had only observed him from a distance, his pleasant smile, rich voice, and modest demeanor gave people the impression that they knew him personally. He learned a lot from life on the road over the years, including patience, faith, and the price of being in the spotlight. While admirers applauded his stirring performances, they frequently overlooked the more reserved side of him, the man who cherished tranquility, trusted few people, and kept his personal connections private. Guy's belief that not every moment should be shared with the world influenced how he lived, loved, and selected the individuals he allowed into his life. One of the few individuals who possessed both skill and simplicity in equal measure was Reggie Smith. Reggie, who was well known for his mellow harmonies and grounded demeanor, had the same quiet strength that Guy found admirable. On stage, they frequently crossed paths, but behind the scenes, Reggie was a calming presence everywhere he went. He concentrated on improving the music and strengthening the team rather than trying to outdo anyone. The effortless smiles they shared during performances and the organic manner they mingled their voices allowed fans to always feel their connection. But nobody was aware of the whole truth. Reggie was just another vocalist, a friend, and Guy's familiar face to the outside world. However, Guy saw him as someone much more significant, someone who could relate to him in a manner that only a fellow musician could. The world never really understood this silent yet powerful link as a part of his existence. When Guy was carrying more weight than he disclosed to others, their genuine friendship started. He had been quietly exhausted by endless rehearsals, strict timetables, and personal demands. After a lengthy performance one evening, Reggie discovered Guy sitting by himself, appearing worn out and aloof. Reggie sat next to him and just chatted instead of passing by. Something inside Guy was softened by that small act. They discussed family, music, spirituality, and the difficult aspects of life that most people never discuss. Guy realized how uncommon it was to encounter someone who could relate to both the joy and the hardship of their profession when Reggie listened to them without passing judgment. They developed a close bond after that day. Before taking the stage, they enjoyed peaceful times, late-night talks, and lengthy road drives. As two men navigating the same world and supporting one another in ways that only true friends can, their friendship developed organically, without coercion or expectation. This trip becomes more than just a tale of skill, hardship, or achievement. No matter how much attention we receive, it serves as a reminder of how fundamentally human we are. We see a life lived between extremes when we reflect on everything he endured, including the early dreams, the unanticipated climb, the agonizing losses, and the silent struggles no one was aware of. The world was praising him one moment, and next he was silently battling storms. Nevertheless, he continued to move forward despite everything because his heart would not give up. He never had his success handed to him. He was burdened by the anxiety of disappointing people, the pressure of celebrity, and the weight of expectations. There were evenings of uncertainty, anxiety, and fatigue hidden behind his smile. People saw the self-assured entertainer, but they never saw the weary man who occasionally wished he could just vanish from the commotion. He never quit up, though. Because he felt that his purpose outweighed the suffering, he continued to turn up. He encountered some of the most challenging lessons along the way. He learned that not everyone who walks beside you wants you to succeed. People around him were altered by his fame. Loyalty became uncommon, murmurs became rumors, and friends became icy. He felt the pain of these betrayals for a very long time. However, rather than allowing it to break him, he allowed it to make him stronger. He acquired the skills of cautious trust, silent forgiveness, and defending his tranquility in the face of external threats. When life made him slow down, that was his true turning point. That event opened his eyes, whether it was due to a health crisis, a loss, or just the weight of everything he was carrying. He came to the realization that he had spent too much time life for other people. For the first time, he questioned his own desires rather than what others anticipated. Everything was altered by this transition. It provided him the courage to take a step back, take a deep breath, and reconstruct himself in a more healthful manner. He fought fights that no one could see as he moved forward. He faced these challenges on a regular basis, but he overcame them with calm bravery. He discovered how to be gentle with himself, accept his imperfections, and allow himself to feel without feeling guilty. And gradually, he began to feel hopeful again. It served as a reminder that life is about more than just surviving. It's about living, loving, and developing. He started a new chapter with that hope. He got back up because he elevated himself, not because the world did. He learned to value genuine connections over meaningless acclaim, set new goals, and discovered new delight in the small things. He began to embrace reality instead of striving for ideal. And as a result, he learned that being fearless does not equate to strength. Rather, it is the ability to proceed in the face of dread. Ultimately, his legacy is a synthesis of all he experienced, not just the happy times that his admirers recall, but also the difficult times that helped him become a true person. For everybody who feels invisible or unheard, he leaves behind a message. Your suffering does not negate your mission, and your difficulties do not weaken you. Even the most difficult chapters contribute to the narrative that shapes who you are. This is the legacy he leaves behind, a life that teaches us to be honest, resilient, and to hold on to hope, even in the face of seemingly endless nights. His experience serves as a reminder that everyone faces invisible struggles and that every heart has a tale worth sharing. Ultimately, the most important thing is not how flawless your road appears, but rather how courageously you followed it. Guy never kept quiet to cover up a wrongdoing. It has to do with safeguarding something valuable. He was aware of how easily the public may misrepresent a relationship, particularly when two people had a strong bond. Guy didn't want Reggie to have to deal with people making up stories or interpreting them in their own ways. Guy respected peace above everything else, and Reggie valued it. The foundation of their friendship was trust, and Guy thought that the more private their relationship remained, the stronger it would be. Additionally, he was concerned that opening up might divert attention from their music and what was really important. Thus, he made the decision to remain silent out of respect and love rather than fear. Knowing that certain connections thrive when everyone else is focused on something else, he kept their story dear to his heart. However, quiet was insufficient to quell interest. On stage, fans frequently observed Guy and Reggie's knowing smiles, their flawless voice blending, and their apparent mutual understanding. On the internet, people started asking questions. Some saw them as spiritual brothers, some as creative collaborators, and some as deeper narratives devoid of reality. The presumptions got louder each year. Guy was uncomfortable after reading some of these remarks because he thought they would harm Reggie, rather than because they personally disturbed him. He didn't say anything, though, thinking the sound would go away on its own. However, it never really did. In this section, we examine how the character's growing notoriety caused both intense emotional and psychological strain in addition to cheers. He starts to feel caught between his personal life and the demands of the public. He appears calm and self-assured to the outside world, but on the inside, he feels overburdened, exhausted, and misinterpreted. This point highlights the inner difficulties that no audience ever witnesses. Success causes the character to grow apart from the people he previously trusted as the narrative goes on. Some pals vanish, some are jealous of him, and some divulge his secrets in exchange for money or attention. This part emphasizes how rapid changes in life can make loyalty rare and how fame can isolate a person. This is a significant event that causes the character to be physically or emotionally shaken. It might be a devastating loss, a major health emergency, or an epiphany about life. This moment offers the narrative a solid emotional foundation and signals the start of a profound metamorphosis. In this section, the character silently faces personal issues while maintaining a global smile. In order to keep people from worrying, he conceals his battles with doubt, anxiety, and tiredness. In this portion, he displays vulnerability and establishes a personal connection with the listener. The character finds something that allows him to breathe again after all the darkness, possibly a new passion, a new purpose, or a sincere connection. This point shows that even the most difficult stages can lead to more promising ones, opening the narrative toward healing and development. The character takes back control of his life. He rebuilds relationships, establishes healthy boundaries, sets new objectives, and grows from every setback. This point demonstrates his return to strength, wisdom, and self-awareness. His impact, how his journey, talent, errors, and rehabilitation inspire others, is reflected in the last outline point. Despite having experienced hardships, he leaves behind teachings that others can apply. This part provides significance and emotional depth that unifies the entire narrative.